Okay, here's a little weird fun for you early in the morning. Late last night, I decided to try an more or less advanced experiment with the antenna system on the SDR by adding a simple resonant tank circuit across the antennas, just a hand-wound coil about 3/8 inch diameter with probably 12 turns on it, and 100 picofarad cap across that. And I also found that I could bend the frequency even lower by adding another 100 picofarad cap across the output of the amplifier, right at the collector of the transistor to ground. And that got me a resonant peak. I was aiming for, at the time, 20 meters. And it gave me a nice resonant peak there, and I was able to pull the band back in when I thought it was gone for the day. Pulled it back in really well. So with that success, I started experimenting across the entire radio spectrum, what I could do. And, hey, where did I go there? Okay. And I found that it worked incredibly well, and I could predict with reasonable accuracy where the peak would appear given a certain number of windings on a coil and the addition of ferrite bar allowed me to tune it up and down within a certain degree. And so I stayed up late last night playing with that, exploring everything, and then this morning I resumed, and I've begun working toward the higher frequencies. And here is a really active area of the shortwave spectrum from 21 megahertz to almost 23 there. And look at all the crazy crap. Now, this is an AM broadcast station. That's nothing amazing. And this is some upper sideband activity on 21 megahertz. Was that 15 meters, I believe? Amateur radio. But this stuff here, this is some kind of a data transmission. I don't know what. And so are these blocks. I have to come up with names all my own for these things because I don't know what I'm looking at here. All this craziness. There's this stuff. There's the cubes. That sounds to me like Stanag, but I don't know if it really is. And look at these. Now, in my first video where I was raving about the Citizens band is where I first noticed those up at 27 megahertz and thereabouts. But they're also very strong and dense right here around 22.2 megahertz. Also here you can see. And I don't know what else to call these things, so I've come up with the tentative name Arc Sweeper because they look just like the regular, the ionosonde sweepers that cut across the whole HF band periodically, but they run in reverse. And they start out, nice straight line, and then they arc off and slow down as they near their end. And then they abruptly stop. And, you know, it would be easy to say, and here's another weird little thing. Look at it, pulse, 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 pulse. See those a lot. It would be easy to say that these things are some kind of a natural phenomenon. I mean, what else could they be? But if you watch them long enough, you'll notice a couple of things. For one, a lot of them repeat, repeat, repeat. See that? And if you fill in the gap here, then that's still a perfect repeater. I've seen them repeating exactly. I've seen them repeating inexactly, meaning that they were slightly farther out on the termination of each one. and then a little further the next time, a little further the next time, and then back, and repeating period. And some don't seem to have a repetition rate at all. They're just all over the place. I don't know what they are. Really strange. And these blocky things, I first heard those on the Chaos Radio project. They were popping up when I was trying to lean the Chaos Radio towards picking up the whole entire Citizens band at once. I was picking these up, didn't know what they were because I didn't have the SDR at the time, and all I knew was the sound of them was like a sort of like a bzzz, and then they'd stop. And some would be a little higher pitched, a little lower pitched. Let's locate on that, and I'll see if I can show you the character of these things, which the closer in you get, the more bizarre they become. They have a Stanag sort of quality, stripiness to them, banding, but there's no hint of changing phase or anything. They're just steady, stable striping that runs down the length of it. It makes it look, well, if the period was longer, a lot of these have almost a candy cane kind of twisted stripe appearance to them. I would really like to let you hear one of these. Really unusual. I don't know what they are. But plea for help. If anybody knows what these frickin' things are, thank you. If anybody knows what these things are, pass along the information. This is really interesting to me. I'm not freaked out about it. I'm fascinated. I always want to know more. There was a short-term arc sweeper. Not so short-term. That one had a long duration toward the end there. And sometimes they do that. Sometimes they even start out in a sort of hyperbolic, parabolic curve and then change and lengthen out again. These are, in my mind, definitely not natural, definitely man-made, but what they are, no clue. Really don't. All I know is their curiosity, and this band is full of them. That was one of the best things I ever did, was to add a pre-selective kind of filter. It's not a filter though, it's an active resonant circuit on the antenna. It gives me roughly 1 megahertz worth of useful boost, and at the peak it's quite amazing. It will pull signals out of the noise very, very well. So if you're struggling to pick up a target signal, like say you want to do SSTV on 20 meters at 14.230 megahertz, and you're having a hard time copying, or you're having trouble doing HF fax and you need a big strong sweeper there. Here it comes, look out! There you go, nice strong pulse there. That was a good strong one. And you can use those ionosonde, however it is you say it, you can use those sweepers to test your filtration. Just park there with your waterfall zoomed as far out as you can get. Wait for them to come along. They do about every 4 minutes or so. And watch the behavior, the strength of the sweeper as it cuts across. And you can use those to your benefit. Thank you, ionosonde. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, about adding resonance to the antenna. What an improvement for signal reach. Anything you can think of within the range of your SDR. I mean, even way outside of the HF. VHF high, UHF, anything like that would benefit from this. You just got to know how to wind the coil and whether or not to use some ferrite in it, what capacitor to pick out. It's just a simple resonant tank circuit. It's no big deal, but oh so effective. Very nice. It unfortunately does not boost outside of the tuning range of it, but nevertheless it doesn't seem to harm signals outside of itself either. It just adds a peak, so you'll get normal behavior to either side, just no boost. But, it'd be nice if you could boost across the whole thing with the benefits of this. What's really, really interesting, take a look at this here. You'll notice RF plus 50, and if you've been watching my other videos, you know that I run with a preamp that I made myself, an LNA, right at the antenna. That's what this is all about. And I said in those other videos I can only get above, like just way down here, just like 1 or 2, maybe 3 if I'm lucky, before strong stations either side start to break in. And I may want to correct myself on whether or not signals outside of the band of the resonant circuit are full strength as normal or not, because now, with that in the line, I can crank my RF gain up most of the time all the way, and I don't get overflow from, or bleed over from adjacent signals outside of the area. Now, signals within the tuning range of that tank circuit, of course, if they're strong enough, they will overwhelm and they will cause a problem. But, wow, I can kick the gain up all the way now most of the time, and the benefit's enormous. I still get, the noise of the SDR's amp, which is not so hot, but still, the signal reach I'm getting is amazing. It's really, really powerful now. So yeah, and I'm not going to put it in this video because this is already babble fest from hell and I've gone on long enough. See, that one kind of broke there. But next video, I think, probably shoot it today, will be the tour of the hardware side of things, so you can see how I've got the rig set up and my antenna and the LNA and the tank circuit. I'll tour you on the tank circuit and how I manipulate it for, a given target and all that. I've got the whole HF spectrum covered with the exception of below 3 megahertz now, and I'm thinking of winding up a extra long coil so that I can do below, like into the AM band or even lower. That would be nice. I don't think I'll get much use out of it, but it would still be neat to explore down there. Anyway, yeah, thought you would think this was cool. I think this is really stunning. And another dimension to the use of the SDR, another step ahead, making it yet more interesting. Tuning your antennas. Wow, such power. Such power was never meant to be in the hands of mere mortals. Anyway, so yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry I went on a bit, but really had to share. Look how tight that one is and how loose they normally are. I would love to know what those things are. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon, preferably very soon. Take care, bye for now.